Move to page number 7. We will start from record tak lengkap, which is from kaedah berbandingan first. Okay, for kaedah berbandingan, let us cover the step first, in case you forget about the steps already. Okay, then before that, about record tak lengkap. Okay, for record tak lengkap means the boss, the accountant, didn't prepare the account completely. So we need to find out the missing item and then find out the untung bersih by using our way lah. Okay, then the first way is kaedah berbandingan. And we have totally roughly 4 steps here for us to find out the untung bersih. Okay, let me. Okay, then the first part, you need to calculate for your modal, and you need both modal awal and modal akhir. Because without modal awal, you also cannot get your untung bersih at all. That means make sure you need to calculate for modal awal and modal akhir first in order for you to get untung bersih later. Then what's the formula to calculate modal? The classification of modal is EP, right? So what's the formula to calculate modal? Remember the first formula that we learned since Form 4, which is asset equals to liability plus equity per milik. And modal is EP, right? If you want to look for EP, you can treat EP something like your unknown in your mathematics, your X. Treat it as your X. And how you find out your X normally? Leave the X alone but in positive value. And since we got the EP in positive already, so remaining here, you need to move the rest to the another side, which is a liability to the another side. And in the equation before this, the liability is to add, right? If you move it to the another side, you need to minus. So the equation will become EP equals to A minus L. So what you need to do, apply this formula into the calculation of modal awal and modal akhir. So no matter modal awal or modal akhir, you also need to use the same formula, asset minus liability. But if you're looking for modal awal, of course you need to look for baki awal, which is baki BB lah. If you're looking for modal akhir, of course you need to find your baki akhir, which is baki HB. That's it. That's it for modal awal and modal akhir. It's just that you need to put it into the format by taking all the asset minus all the belanja. Then once you get your modal awal, modal akhir, then you can use your EP format in PKK to find out your untung bersih or rugi bersih here. Means this step, what you need is only EP item that we normally record into PKK. So normally in your PKK, your EP portion will be looks like this, right? Start by modal awal, then modal tambahan, add untung bersih minus ambilan, you will get the final answer. Modal akhir, right? Okay, so once you have done your pengyata mengira modal awal, you will get your modal awal, modal akhir already. Then the question itself will give you modal tambahan together with ambilan. Then the untung bersih is the missing item that we are looking for. We can create it something like the X. So how you want to find out the X? Like previously, you need to reverse your formula, right? Reverse the sequence and also the symbol. If previously is to add, now you need to minus. If previously is to minus, now you need to add lah, terbalik everything lah. But you need to terbalik 2 things. First thing, terbalik, reverse the sequence first, and also reverse the symbol. So the first thing that you need to start is by using your modal akhir. Secondly, previously is to minus ambilan, but now you need to add ambilan. Then skip your untung bersih because this is the final answer that we are looking for. Then keep it as unknown first. Then continue with number 3, modal tambahan. Previously is to add. Now what you need to do is minus. Minus modal tambahan. And then you need to continue by modal awal, right? And previously, modal awal is together with the rest of the item. Means you need to add your modal awal lah. But now you need to reverse also minus modal akhir. Sorry, modal awal. Then you will get your final answer, untung bersih if you got positive. If you got negative, we call it as rugi per se. That's it. That's how you find out your untung or rugi per se by using kaedah perbandingan. And for some of the question, sometimes they will need us to prepare PKK. This PKK is as usual what we learned since Form 4, starting by ABS lah, and then AS minus LS lah. Then you will get modal kerja, add together with your ABS, get the first total first. Then you only start the second part by equity pemilik plus the LBS. And make sure your PKK is imbang. That's it. That's it for kaedah perbandingan. That's why kaedah perbandingan is easier compared to kaedah analysis, and the answer wise also will be shorter format. Okay, that's the background. That's a step how you prepare your how you calculate your untung besar by using baki berkurangan. Okay, for the note wise, right? Okay, you don't need to get so rushed to copy the note first. You can take picture later. Okay, let us move to page number 7. Let us discuss for one question by applying all these steps. Page number 7. Okay, and as usual, whenever you have any question, check your question requirement first to see what are we going to find later, easier for us to identify the information. Okay, part A, we need to calculate, we need to prepare penyataan mengirim modal on the last day. It is modal here, right? But if there is no modal awal, you also cannot get your untung besar at all. So no matter how, you still need to find out modal awal as well. It's just that maybe you don't need to prepare the penyataan format lah. You just calculate lah. Calculate by using formula, asset minus liability. And if you are getting a modal awal, you need baki BB. If you're getting modal akhir, you need baki HB. Then B, you need to calculate untung and rugi per se by using penyataan untung rugi. That is the part that, keep it short, make it become your PKK EP portion as usual. Means what we need here is only EP item, but you need to reverse the sequence and also reverse the symbol to add or minus. Okay. Then last one, account modal. This one is special account that we learn this for this topic lah. Yeah, sorry. But this account model is different from the perkongsian account model. Because in the tuition class, we are learning perkongsian. We need to prepare account model sometimes, right? And the only thing to record into account model in perkongsian will be modal tambahan. But if you check this topic, if you check this question, the question asks us to prepare account model, having 5 marks here. How is it possible for us to record modal tambahan and straight away get 5 marks? Cannot be right. So what we need to do is we treat the account model is something like all EP account. And when you recorded the EP earlier, into part B, which is a penyataan untung rugi, right? So we need to record whatever record into your penyataan untung rugi there, put it into account model only for this question, not for perkongsian. Don't get confused. Okay, so let us figure out, do we need hasil and belanja for this question? We need asset and liability to calculate modal awal, modal akhir. And we need EP to calculate for untung besar and rugi besar. But do you need any hasil and belanja? Do you need any hasil and belanja here? Hello? Can anyone answer me? Do you need any hasil and belanja? No more, huh? You don't need any hasil and belanja for kaedah berbandingan at all. So, I will put it into the notes. In this kaedah berbandingan, we don't need any hasil and belanja. That means if later you saw any hasil and belanja, ignore it. You don't need to record at all. Okay, so now let us move back to the question. Discuss about the question. On 1st July 2024, value on the 1st July, the baki on the 1st July should be baki BB, right? And baki BB is for us to calculate modal awal. Okay, and some more dimension. The boss memulakan perniagaan, start up a new business. If it is start new business, of course it's modal awal lah. How can it become modal akhir, right? Okay, then we get the modal as below. Find out the classification first. Tunai di bank, make it simple lah. Tunai di bank, just call it as bank. Klasifikasi AS. Promise ABS. Lengkapan ABS. Deposit kadar bayaran. As long as deposit, it is still your own money. It's just that the TNB, maybe that person is keeping money for you as a deposit. Once you have finalized everything, you've settled everything, you can get it refunded. That means this is your money, keep it with somebody else for a short time or period only. So it is still AS. That means no matter what kind of deposit, as long as deposit, it is always AS. And what's the account missing here? What's the account missing here? The boss start up a new business with the modal as below. Of course, missing modal here lah. And without modal, how can we run any business, right? So we need to add on modal by our own by using the formula asset minus liability. But since there's no liability in this question, that means you don't need to minus lah. You just need to add all the asset for your EP modal awal. The total, I think it should be 110,000. Sorry, 101,000. Just total up all the asset. Okay, so for this question, you have done to calculate, get your modal awal already lah. Then continue. Beliau tidak menyimpan. He didn't keep the record lengkap. Means record tak lengkap lah. This one easy, but doesn't important at all. What we need to do is still find out the untung and rugi per se. And on the last day of the year, 30th June, we have the maklumat as below. And the value on 30th June, last day of the year, it should be baki, HB, to calculate modal akhir. Find out the classification also lah. Promise, ABS. Is deposit again, it is still AS. Lengkapan, ABS. Tunai di bank, just keep it as bank will do. AS. Simpanan tetap, simpanan means your saving ah. And as long as it's your money, it's your saving. No matter where you keep it, it is still your AS. Inventory on the last day should be inventory akhir AS, ABT AS, ABB LS. Sewa belum terima. Belum terima means it is AS. Kadar bayaran belum bayar. You're supposed to pay, but you haven't paid. It is LS. But you can't straight away calculate your modal akhir first yet lah. Because of course there will be some pelarasan lah. And also one more thing. Will pelarasan affect baki BB or baki HB? Pelarasan should affect your baki BB or baki HB. Which one? Pelarasan should affect, yes, baki HB. Because how can we know hutang lapor customer gone first day of the year? How can we know how many percentage calculate susut nilai first day of the year? No, right? So all the pelarasan can only work on baki HB. So I make a remark here. Pelarasan only work for modal akhir, which is working on your baki HB will affect your modal akhir only, yeah? Okay, then let us go through the sentences, find out the pelarasan. And remember, every pelarasan, you need to do at least twice, because you need to make sure one in debit, one in credit to make sure everything is imbang. Okay, the first sentence. On 31st December 2024. It's not last day of the year, remember? Because last day of the year for this question is 30th June 2025. Means we actually buy something in the middle of the year. If you buy something in the middle of the year, that means sometimes you might need to calculate for tempo lah. Okay, so take note lah. You might need to calculate tempo later lah. Okay, in the middle of the year in J, Faris, the boss, membeli almari pameran. He bought display rack 2,500 untuk kegunaan kedai dengan menggunakan wang peribadi. When you see menggunakan wang peribadi, means the boss is using his own personal money to buy something for company usage. But is it possible for companies simply take personal money from the boss to use it? Is it possible simply for the company use boss personal money? Is it? No, right? The company can only use the boss' personal money when the boss bring in the money first. So what's the account? Yes, modal, and we call that as modal tambahan. And the classification of modal tambahan is EP, right? By 2,500. And then he bought Almari Pameran display rack. Display rack are something like if you go to the shop, there might be some rack that display the product, right? Is it movable? Are those rack movable? Not really, right? If those furniture it is not movable, we call it as lengkapan, not perabot ah. And if you buy lengkapan, of course the lengkapan is getting more ABS by 2,500. Okay, so now for this sentence, we have figured out the pelarasan 2 times already. One time is for modal tambahan, another time is for lengkapan, which is completed lah. But the key point here, the most tricky part for kaedah perbandingan will be, you need to check the question. Did they record the transaction or not? Okay, for the student who just came in just now, we are in page number 7 now. Okay, so for the first sentence, did they mention we haven't recorded the transaction? No, right? Okay, so attention now. Focus listen to me If there is a phrases mention we haven't recorded the transaction at all, that means you need to record everything, no matter the account showing in the question or not. If that is a sentence, that is a phrases that we haven't record anything, then no matter what's the scenario, no matter what's the account showing in the account, you still need to record. But if something like this sentence that never mentioned we haven't recorded anything yet, that means we have recorded. Because they need to tell us whether we haven't recorded anything. They didn't tell us ma. That means we recorded the transaction already, but maybe there might be some missing item. But how do you define out any missing item? See the accounts that you identified earlier, whether it is showing in the list in the question here. Let's say the first one, modal tambahan is not in the list at all, right? So this is the account that we need to record later, and some more it is EP. And we need to keep EP for part B. So label as B for modal tambahan. But lengkapan, are we going to record lengkapan again? If no mention haven't record, some more we saw lengkapan here. Do we need to adjust the lengkapan value by add another 2,500? Yes or no? Yes or no? There's no phrases that we never mention, never record. That means we recorded before. Something missing only. So we saw lengkapan in the list already. Do we still need to adjust the lengkapan value by add another 2,500? Yes or no? Hello? Yes or no? Hello? I repeat one more time. If there's no sentence mentioning that we haven't record, that means we recorded already. Like this sentence. If we recorded already, that means there will be only something missing that we have to put it only. For those who have existing in the question already, you don't need to record because it is already recorded in the question. So we have recorded the modal tambahan because it's not showing up in the question. But are we going to record this lengkapan by adding another 2,500? Yes or no? No more because we have recorded this part already. But what you need to take note is that means out of the total of 6,200 lengkapan, we have two portions here. We have 2,500 out of the total is newly purchased from 31st December 2024, which is we need to apply tempo if you need to calculate susut nilai later. But the balance, 3,700, no tempo at all because you got it since first day of the year already. Only the 2,500 is the new purchase. So, since this 2,500 already been reflected in the question in the langkapan already, so you can ignore this pelarasan. Only keep the modal tambahan for part B, calculate untung bersih rugi bersih later. Okay, wait that. You can see my screen, right? Can I get wait let me reshare my screen again, huh? Because I think there might be some technical issue. Okay, then let us continue. Okay, then second sentence, they mentioned in this year, ending on the last day of the year, beliau, the boss, mengambil barang niaga. Don't straight away conclude that it is ambilan when you see mengambil. You need to double check whether it is really taking out for personal use or not. Okay, he take out barang niaga. Barang niaga means referring to your inventory, right? But we have to change the inventory account into what? We cannot straight away park into account inventory. We have to change to yes, belian. Normally should be either belian or jualan. The student who just came in, we are in page number 7. Barang niaga means inventory. Inventory, you have to change to either belian or jualan normally. But in this question, obviously there is no jualan at all, right? Because we can't see any sales. We can't see the boss is selling the item. So it will be belian. Okay. Then what is the classification of belian? You buy something, you should spend money ma. Whenever spending, it will be belanja, right? And when you take out your barang niaga, take out inventory, your inventory should getting less. Belanja getting less by 960. But do we need belanja for this question? Do we need to do we need to record hasil and belanja for kaedah berbandingan? Do we need that? No. So whenever you see any hasil and belanja, just ignore. Okay, then continue the sentence. Dan mengeluarkan cek. When you see check, what is the account? Supposed to be in bank, right? Okay, so second account is bank. Bank classification AS. He take out money, so it will minus 340. Okay, asset, it is asset. We might need that. And then untuk kegunaan keluarganya. So what's the another account for this sentence? Untuk kegunaan keluarganya. Take out for personal use. It will be ambilan, right? Okay, and ambilan classification is to minus EP and total up these two together lah, 1,300. Okay, so we have find out all the accounts in this sentence already. And again, they never mention we haven't recorded the transaction at all. That means we have recorded already, but something missing. We need to record whatever missing only. Yeah. Has the question showing ambilan? No, right? So we need to keep the ambilan, which is the EP for part B, penyata untung rugi. How about bank? Do we need to adjust the value of bank? They never mention that we haven't recorded transaction. Do we need to still adjust the bank value in the question earlier here? Do we need to adjust? No, also because it is already stated in the question already. Again, the student who just came in, we are in page 7. I write the page here. Okay, so since bank already showing in the question already, and they never mentioned that we haven't recorded, so assume that we recorded already. So this one also ignore. Only keep the ambilan for penyata untung rugi. And number 3, on 31st March, the boss dimaklumkan has been informed that there is one EBT Muflis bankrupt already and his hutang dihapus kira sebagai hutang lapuk. So first account, we know that it is hutang lapuk, right? And what is the classification of hutang lapuk? What's the classification of hutang lapuk? Your customer is gone, that you need to bear the loss by your own? Yes, it is belanja. And for this question, kaedah berbandingan. We don't need belanja at all, right? So ignore this belanja. And what else what else account get affected by using hutang lapuk? Your customer is gone. That means your ABT is gone. So affecting ABT account. Getting more or getting less? Getting more, getting less. Your customer is gone. Your ABT is gone. Your ABT is getting less because you cannot collect back your money anymore. So minus ABT by 590. And some more dimension. Perkara ini belum diambil sebarang tindakan. That means we haven't take any action. We haven't record this transaction. So do we need to adjust ABT by using this figure? Yes or no? Belum diambil sebarang tindakan means we haven't record lah. If we haven't record, do we need to adjust this value in the question ABT? Yes. Only need to adjust the account showing in the question when they mention this kind of sentences. So need to minus ABT by 590. You will get 5,950. After adjust the value in the list here for your ABT, then you can forget about these workings. And since this sentence both adjustment we have cancelled already, right? Because we have done all the records already. Then you can forget about this sentence. Number 4. Pulangan barang niaga kepada pembekal. First question. Whenever see pembekal supplier, what's the account? We learned this record before, right? When you see pembekal, what's the accounting? When you see pembekal, it is belian. Belian secara tunai or secara kredit? Secara kredit. Some more you see pulangan, right? And normally, pulangan, you prepare journal has before in form 4, right? And journal has is talking about secara kredit. So when you see pembekal, belian secara kredit, we call it as ABB. If you see pelanggan means jualan secara kredit, it will be referring to ABT, yeah? Okay, so now ABB classification is LS. And when you return the item to ABB, you return the item that you bought from the pembekal earlier. That means you need to pay more or less later. You return item to supplier, you need to pay more or less. You will pay less later. So LS getting minus, okay, by 375. And at the same time, pulangan here should be pulangan belian or pulangan jualan. You already mentioned that it is pembekal, right? And someone you return the item to supplier, which is pulangan. Huh? Why jualan leh? Pembekal oh. Pembekal is supplier oh. You should buy from supplier only. You should beli from pembekal only. Can it be jualan? So it will be pulangan belian. And where to record pulangan belian? Normally in Apo, right? And Apo can only record hasil and belanja, right? And do we need hasil and belanja for this question? No. And also, recap one more time. Pulangan only having one impact. It is to minus only. And the classification only rely on the belian, which is belanja. 375. And just now we mentioned already, we don't need any hasil and belanja for kaedah perbandingan. So pulangan belian you don't need. Okay, for ABB, the last part of the question they mentioned, we return out the item to supplier because tersalah jenama, wrong brand already. And this transaction belum direcord di mana-mana buku. That means, do we need to adjust the ABB value? They mentioned belum direcord. So do we need to adjust the ABB value? Yes, always yes. And also, how is it possible that the question gives us a scenario but we don't need to record anything? No, right? So need to adjust your ABB by minus 375. It is 3,227. after adjusted the value in the question, then you can ignore the workings. And both workings we have cancelled out already, right? So we can cancel this sentence already. Number 5, inventory on the last day should be inventory akhir. Telah berlaku kesilapan. We have recorded wrongly. We have recorded wrongly lebih nilai means too much. We recorded too much by 370. If it is too much, you need to add or minus. If it is too much, you need to do the correction by add or minus. Minus. So need to minus inventory akhir by 370. And they mention hendaklah diperbetulkan means we need to do the correction. If there's specifically mentioned that we need to do the correction, then find the account, fix it, do the correction. That means the inventory, we need to minus 370. It will be, turns out, 11,410 left. But previously, we have mentioned every pelarasan you need to adjust for once or twice. Twice, right? At least twice, right? But there's only one account we can find here. Then let's think about where to record inventory akhir. You should record inventory akhir into APO or PKK or both. You need to record your inventory akhir in APO or PKK or both. Keep inventory akhir where? Both. So although you only seems like adjusted only one value, but you actually adjusted the value in both APO and PKK for your inventory akhir. So done lah. And this sentence, we have adjusted the inventory akhir, right? So you can ignore this sentence also. Number 6, simpanan tetap 5,000 that we keep it since 1st January 2025. Huh? What it meant? Okay, let's check the simpanan tetap. Simpanan tetap, we have 5,000. It is 5,000 here also. That means your simpanan tetap has been recorded. So our main focus here is not the simpanan tetap. Our main focus here is actually the date together with the interest rate, the faedah for simpanan tetap. So let us calculate the faedah atas simpanan tetap. What is the klasifikasi when it is faedah atas simpanan tetap? Simpanan tetap means you're saving mah. If you save your money, keep it in the bank, you should receive interest, right? So it will be yes, hasil. 3% of your simpanan tetap. So take your simpanan tetap 5,000 times 3%. But you only keep the money since 1st January. And from 1st January until 30th June. How many months here? How many months in this to date? From January until June, we have how many months there? 6 months. So we need to calculate tempo times 6 over 12. It will be 75. Okay, but before we continue, we know that we don't need the hasil, right? So we can cross out the hasil. And also they mentioned, perkara ini belum direkodkan dalam mana-mana buku. That means we haven't received the faedah atas simpanan lah. So it will be faedah atas simpanan tetap belum terima. The klasifikasi will be AS 75. And do we need to record this faedah atas simpanan belum terima into answer later? Do we need to get this into answer later? Yes or no? Yes or no? Do we need to get this faedah atas simpanan tetap belum terima into answer later? Yes, but not in PKK. Okay, normally PKK, yes. But for this question, you don't need to prepare PKK. And also, we can't see any account provided in the list using this one, right? Means this account is missing. And some more logical thinking again. The question won't ask us to record nothing if showing in the question, right? At least you must record one thing, right? So this one we need to record into the question lah. Okay, then the last one, Encik Faris, the boss, suggested to have pelarasan as below. Okay, susun nilai 10% atas lengkapan, calculate as usual lah. But remember just now, for lengkapan, we have split it into a new one to calculate tempo and the old one without the tempo, right? So be careful on this, huh? Okay, let us calculate SN first, then only SNT. SN belanja. The cost of lengkapan is, okay, we got two parts here with different tempo. One with tempo, another one without tempo. So need to split the calculation and then total up the answer together, huh? Okay, so the new purchase one, 2,500 times 10% a year. But from the day that you bought it, from 31st December until 30th June, how many months there? And you bought it on last day of the month already of December. Are you going to calculate susuk nilai for December itself? No more. Only starting the next month. So means it is starting from January until June. So it is again 6 over 12 months, right? So times 6 over 12. Then add the one with the old portion, which is 3,700 times full year 10%. It will be 495. Then continue SNT to minus ABS. And we can't see any SNT given in the question, right? Means 0. Add with this year SN, 495. So this year SNT also 495. And the first thing, remove the belanja because we don't need belanja and hasil for kaedah perbandingan. But we need to keep the SNT because that's not showing in the question at all. So keep it to minus your lengkapan later in your answer. Then the last one, PHR. We have to record PHR into APO or PKK first. Remember? Okay, anyone remember? Record PHR into APO or PKK first. Remember the hints, Yeah, in PKK because if you want to record into APO, you need to know penambahan or pengurangan to see hasil or belanja, right? But if you haven't count the latest value for PKK, how you find out whether it is penambahan or pengurangan? Because you can't find any value to compare, right? So always put your PHR in PKK first. And it always follow the ABT in PKK, right? So it will always follow your ABT classification, which is AS. But the function is to minus your ABT separately. So the classification is minus AS. Then take the ABT value times 2% and always take the latest value, which is 5,950 times 2%. It will be 119. Okay, then continue for APO to find out hasil and belanja. So far, we didn't see any PHR at all, right? So that is 0 PHR before this. Become latest value, 119. So your PHR obviously increase. And when PHR increase, what is the classification? When PHR increase, what is the classification? PHR increase means you suspect more customer might be gone, suspect that you might have more possible losses. Yes, it will be belanja. And we don't need belanja for this question, right? So ignore this belanja and keep your PHR into your answer because it's not given in the question at all. Okay, so that's the full question discussion. Then you need to move it to the answer. And I have prepared the answer already because just fit everything into your answer only, right? Into the formula only, right? What you need to do is just list out all the assets minus all the liability. And be careful, SNT always take to the ABS itself, and PHR always take with the ABT, Then total up all the asset, then only minus the liability. You will find the final answer model are here. After that, for penyata untung rugi, wait I move it here. I remove first, Okay. Then you need to apply your untung and rugi per se, ambilan and modal tambahan given in the question, apply it into the format of penyata mengira untung rugi, which is actually to terbalik the sequence of your EPPKK lah. Starting by modal awal, then add ambilan minus modal tambahan together with modal awal, then you get the final answer positive, untung bersih. Okay, so everything here for penyata untung rugi is just following the format that we explained just now, right? Okay, now the most tricky part is the account model in this question. And just now we mentioned, this account model is different from the account model that we learned in persamaan account. In perkongsian. Because in perkongsian, account model can only record modal tambahan. But for this question, what he asks you is, you need to fit all the EP items into the only EP account in order for you to get 5 marks. So you need to figure out whatever EP here, you need to record into debit or credit side into EP account. So the first thing, when you open account modal, you need to find out your Baki BB first, right? Baki BB means Baki awal lah. So modal awal is the Baki BB for account modal. And account modal is EP, right? EP should record into credit side. So the Baki BB for EP will be in credit. This is what we recorded in the answer later. Okay, then after that, continue by modal tambahan. Modal tambahan means you're getting more modal. So EP is getting more, supposed to be in credit side also. So record it here, but you cannot write the bullet as modal tambahan into account modal, right? Then check in the question. Just now, what is the another account for the transaction of modal tambahan? Modal tambahan together with lengkapan, right? If I'm in account modal, I cannot write modal tambahan into my bullet. I need to write the another one. That's why I write it lengkapan here. Okay, then number 3, ambilan. Ambilan klasifikasi is to minus EP. Sorry, I think I forgot to write the P here. Ambilan is supposed to minus EP. So we have to record into debit side. This is number 3 item that we need to record into this question account modal. Okay, but don't get so rushed to record your modal akhir first. Because modal akhir means your Baki HP. You need to keep it for the last. You should record one more EP item first, which is untung bersih. Because untung bersih also considered as EP that you recorded into PAK for EP format there, right? And when you have untung bersih, that means you're getting more fun in the company. It will be in positive value. So positive EP should record into credit side. Then lastly, we only record the Baki HP for modal. And Baki HP for modal, EP Baki HP should record into debit side. The last item. So record the last Baki HP for account modal into the account modal already. Then make sure everything is imbang. If it is not imbang, that means something wrong already. Okay. So that's all the discussion for kaedah berbandingan. If you don't have any question, you can take picture of the notes now. If you have any question, you can ask now, Okay. Okay, then the first part of the notes. Then second part. Okay, the last part, especially the account modal. Okay, done? Done taking the picture? Okay, if there's no question, then I will proceed. If you have any question, you stop me. Okay, then continue by kaedah analysis. The troublesome part. And we are going to use kaedah analysis to do recap for the upper PAK together with pelarasan. Because for kaedah analysis, you will have all kind of pelarasan here and to prepare upper and PAK also. So let us combine them together lah, because we have only 2 hours to cover the topics. Okay, then the kaedah analysis, we got more steps here. First step, you need to find out jumlah berlian and jumlah jualan. And don't forget, your jualan and berlian will have two terms, means secara tunai and secara credit. Okay, for whatever secara tunai, you will find from buku tunai. Because secara tunai means you pay money, receive money already, ma. You pay money, receive money should record into account bank, right? Which is from buku tunai there. And if it is jalan tunai, you sell, you should receive money, it will be showing in buku tunai debit. If berlian tunai, you buy, you should pay money, it will be in buku tunai credit. Then continue by jalan credit and berlian credit. If jalan credit, that means it is related to account belum terima that you need to prepare account kawalan belum terima. If it is berlian credit, it is related to ABB and you need to prepare account kawalan belum bayar. Now, how to prepare the account? How to record the transaction? Still back to the system charatan berikut to see when to debit, when to credit lah. And then lastly, to imbang. Classification of ABT is AS. So when your AS, your ABT increase, record into debit. When ABB decrease, record into credit side. Then berlian credit ABB, classification is LS. So if it is getting more, you need to credit. If it is getting lesser, you need to debit. Okay, that's a step how to prepare your account kawalan. After done account kawalan, you need to continue by calculating your bank and tunai value because most of the time the question won't list down the baki with the bank at all. That is a trap for you, one of the trap for you to see whether you remember to calculate the value of bank. And also, if there's no money in the bank, how we can run any business, right? So make sure in the list of baki there is a bank. If no, then you need to tambah by your own. You need to add on the list by your own. Okay, then how to calculate the value for bank and tunai? Easy lah. Common sense thinking lah. Take the baki BB in the question because there might be some balance of money from the last period. And once you receive money, your money is getting more. So add penerimaan. If you pay money, your money is getting less. So need to minus pembayaran. That's it. Don't forget to calculate for your bank and tunai baki HP, the last day baki balance, because when you record into PKK, you need to record it into PKK also. Okay, this is one of the things that it is very high chance for you to missing out because the question normally won't tell you to calculate bank and tunai. But the next one, modal awal also missing, but this one not that worry because when you prepare your PKK EP format, when you write down the modal awal, you will straight away find that, oh, we don't have modal awal value. Then it will remind you to go back to the question, calculate and get your modal awal. But it is nothing happen like this for your bank and tunai, So bear in mind for bank and tunai, make sure remember to calculate the value by your own. Okay, now back to modal awal. Modal awal is EP. We learned how to calculate earlier by using kaedah perbandingan, right? Same way, by taking asset minus liability using baki PB. Then lastly, APO and PKK lah. And of course, when you want to do APO and PKK, there will be pelarasan. Okay, now let us recap the pelarasan in case we forget anything. We have totally 4 kinds of pelarasan. For hasil and belanja, is either lebih or kurang already lah. Okay, then first thing, your hasil belanja must record into APO record, but you need to record the full amount, the actual amount, sebenar value, whatever for this year. That means the question will tell you whether it's lebih or kurang. If it is lebih, if it is too much, you need to minus to get the actual value. If it is too less, that kurang already, you need to add back the portion lah. And don't forget, every pelarasan you need to record twice, right? Because always make sure one in debit, one in credit, then you get only imbang, right? So the extra portion and also less portion, the lebih and kurang portion, also need to record into PKK with specific name. If it is hasil, you receive 2 less, we also consider there is a portion of money that you haven't received. We call it as belum terima. Klasifikasi AS. If you receive too much, we call it as unearned money, because you receive money for next year, but you haven't delivered, haven't bagi the product for next year. Means you're owing lah. You hutang people for next year product. We call it as belum terperoleh, haven't earned yet. Or as belanja, if you pay too less, we call it as we haven't paid, belum bayar. Klasifikasi LS. Okay, if you paid too much early payment, advance payment, we call it as prabayar, LS. Okay, and the next pelarasan, SNSNT, susut nilai terkumpul. And always remember, susut nilai is the value dropping in this year sahaja. No matter when you bought it, no matter how long you bought it. So SN only affect your APO because APO need whatever for this year to calculate for this year untung sahaja. And it will be belanja for the company, belanja for APO because susut nilai means market value drop. If you suspect the value dropping in the market, you might have losses in future. So it will be belanja in future. And the SNT, it is a susut nilai accumulated from the first day, from the first year that you bought it. So it will be susut nilai terkumpul, T stand for total, record into PKK to minus ABS. Okay, then back to SN. We have totally 3 ways to calculate for SN. First way, ansuran tetap garis lurus atas cost. By using these 3 names, by using this method, we are going to split the cost equally over the year. So you will get the same susut nilai all the year. And there are totally 2 formulas of it. You need to figure out in the question what kind of information given, so you can figure out what kind of formula that you're going to use. If the question give you cost, give you the cost and the percentage, then you need to take the cost times percentage. But if the question give you another information, which are nilai scrap and usia guna, then you need to use the second formula by sub all the information given in the question to the formula. Okay, then second way, baki berkurangan. Berkurangan means getting lower. Means your susut nilai is getting lower over the years. All because of the formula by taking the same cost, which is the original price that you bought the item, minus the increasing SNT. Because SNT, just now we mentioned, it is the accumulated SN over the years, right? That means SNT will be only getting higher and higher over the year because every year you also got SN mah. Total up year by year, you will get higher value. But when you take the same value minus the higher value, then the balance is getting lower, right? So times percentage, we get the answer baki berkurangan. Susut nilai getting lower and lower over the year. And how we call the answer of cost minus SNT? Can anyone remember what's the answer we call cost minus SNT? We record these 2 items into your PKK, right? In the 3 or 4 columns of calculation in PKK, right? And first column from the left, you will write it as cost. Second column, SNT. How about the third column? Where you get the answer by taking at cost minus SNT. How we call the third column of calculation in PKK? Nilai buku. So this formula also called as nilai buku because we are going to take the cost minus SNT. Then the last method, penilaian semula. This is one of the most trickiest item for kaedah analysis because the question won't even tell you that there is susut nilai for you to calculate. So how trigger you to find out how to get the hint to calculate susut nilai by using penilaian semula? You check your ABS baki BB. If ABS baki BB baki HP is something different, or in the year itself, you bought some belian ABS, jualan ABS. That means we need to calculate susut nilai by using penilaian semula. And the only information given in the question will be ABS sahaja. Then how to figure out the formula to add or minus? Using system catatan bergula, like how we have done for pelarasan shortcut way before lah. Okay, the question will give us Baki BB, Baki HP for ABS. ABS Baki BB will be in debit. Baki HP will be in credit. Then if in the middle of the year, you have bought new ABS, your ABS is getting more. When ABS getting more, should be got into debit side. In case you sell your ABS is getting less. So it will be getting credit side. And always remember the common sense thinking, huh? Can we have negative ABS? Is it possible after I bought the car, 10 years later, the value become negative? No ma. The worst case is to get it without value, no value at all, zero only, right? So ABS always be starting from debit side. Always debit is having higher total. So what we calculate by using polarisan, by using the shortcut way earlier, take the higher side minus the lower side, right? If debit is higher, take debit minus credit. If credit is higher, take credit minus debit. And just now we mentioned, ABS always having the value in debit side higher, right? So if you start the equation by debit, then when see debit, you need to add. When we see credit, minus. That's it. Then for SNT, there's only one formula there, which is taking the SNT given in the question, add with this here SN. So that means we need to calculate SN or SNT first. No matter how the question change, we need to calculate SN or SNT first. Which one first? Yeah, always SN first. Because without SN, you can't calculate for your SNT. So always calculate your SN first. Okay, then the next. Hutang. We have 3 hutangs here. Hutang lapuk, your customer is gone. Okay, then when you have any hutang here, you need to find out what's the impact on your ability to recognize into your PKK. And you need to find out whether it is hasil or belanja for Apo. Okay, so the first question here. Hutang lapuk, your ABT previously, but now he is gone. Maybe bankrupt ke, maybe melarikan diri ke, maybe he passed away ke. You cannot collect back your money anymore, right? So, the customer who was your ABT before, now he is gone. Will he affect your ABT? When hutang lapuk, will he minus your ABT? Your ABT is gone already, cannot collect back your money anymore. Will he minus your ABT? Yes or no? Yes, minus ABT. And you lost the customer, you lost the money already. You need to bear the losses. So it will be hasil or belanja for company. It will be belanja, right? Okay, then the same scenario, but 2 months later, he come back to pay you money. We call it as hutang lapor terpulih. First question, do you want the money? The customer who was gone earlier come back with the money. Do you want the money? Yes. And you want the money, that means you're getting the money. When you are getting or receiving money, it will be hasil for Apple, right? But will he become your ABD anymore? Are you there to get him to buy something from you but pay money in future anymore? No, right? So will he become an ABT anymore? No. Since he's no longer become an ABT anymore, so there's no impact on ABT at all. Instead, you are receiving money. When you receive money, record into which account? As long as you pay, receive money, record into account? Bank, right? And when you receive money, your money is getting more. Bank money is getting more lah. And the last hutang, peruntukan hutang ragu, suspect customer is gone. And we have to record PHR in PKK first, right? And can you straight away minus your ABT directly by cross out your ABT value because of PHR? Can you? Can you combine PHR with ABT straight away to cross out the ABT given in the question, change to a new value? Can? No, because PHR means suspect customer is gone. If you combine your suspicion together with the actual value, you might tend to forget about how to collect back the money from the customer at all. it will be a valid loss already. But previously, it should be possibly lost only. There might be some chance that you can collect back the money. So don't combine your PHR together with ABT. Leave the ABT alone. So, yeah. Leave the ABT first. Then minus the ABT separately under it. PHR always follow your ABT, right? So the classification also follow ABT, which is to minus AS. Then you only figure out in the upper the value increase or decrease. If your PHR increase, means you suspect customer gone by more money, means you suspect there might be more possible loss. It will be hasil or belanja. Belanja, right? In opposite way, if PHR decrease, that means you suspect customer getting lost by lesser money, means you can collect portion of money. It will be your extra income hasil. Okay, the last one, pelupusan. How many steps for pelupusan? How many steps we have for pelupusan? Remember the passcode? How many steps we have for pelupusan? How many steps there? Hello? 4. We have 4 steps for pelupusan. And how many accounts for every single step? How many account for every single steps? To make sure everything is inbound. So how many account we have in every steps? Hello? How many accounts in every steps? 2. Because make sure one in debit, one in credit for us to inbound the account, right? Then every step, second account. What to fill in? What's the account for us to fill in for every single step, second account? Yes, pelupusan. So remember the key code, it is 42 MP. And if I have example here, I have a car here that I bought in 2020 for 100,000. 6 years later, today, we selling it at 50,000. Then over the years, we have accumulated as NT 25,000. And we need to find out whether it's untung or rugi pelupusan lah by using all this information. And remember the first concept, if you sell out the ABS, don't keep any single cent related to the ABS. Remember that? So first step, I sell out the car. So it will be affecting kenderaan. And kenderaan klasifikasi, ABS. If we sell it out, it will reduce. When ABS reduce, credit side. But what is the first value that we have to credit for the first step? You got 1, 2, 3 values here. Which one should you credit for the very first step for your pelupusan? Since you sell out this kenderaan already, you sell out this ABS already. Yes, always clear the cost. And the cost will be number 1. Because we can't keep any single cent for whatever that we have. We no longer have it already. Because you sell the car already, can you see this car in a company anymore? No. So all the things related to this car should be getting lost. Okay. But if we sell it out at 50,000, can I credit 100,000 but debit 50,000? Can I do so? Can I credit 100,000 but debit by 50,000 because I sold it at 50,000 only? Can I? Can I debit credit different value? Can I debit credit different value? Credit 100,000 but only debit 50,000. Can I do so? Is it possible? Yeah, cannot because it cannot inbound. Always make sure debit and credit the same value. So I credited 100,000. I should debit 100,000 also. In account? In account what? Now I'm in first step, second account. And the second account always fill in the blank using pelupusan. Yes. That's the function of pelupusan step. Secondly, you sell, you receive money, right? So you're receiving money. Receive money put into account bank, which is AS getting more, debit by 50,000 because I started out at 50,000. Of course, I need to debit my bank by 50,000 lah. Then I need to credit the same value 50,000 in account, in account what? Pelupusan again. Then third step, what's the account that I need to clear? What's the account that I need to clear? Yes, S&T, because I need to clear whatever regarding to this car that I sold out. Because I have settled the cost. I have settled the money that I received already. I should settle the last thing, which is the S&T lah. So clear the S&T and S&T classification to minus ABS. So by right, we should credit it. But when I want to clear the value, that means you need to make the value become 0. If I want to make any figure become 0, I need to add or minus. Logical thinking question. Minus. And when minus, we need to move to another side, right? And previously it was credit. Now you need to move into debit side. 25,000. If I debit 25,000, I should credit 25,000 also, right? Into account pelupusan again. Then lastly, we finally can find out untung or rugi pelupusan. Okay, but you can only find out untung or rugi pelupusan by using account pelupusan, and we are going to do it later. And next account always be pelupusan. Now let us record into account pelupusan for whatever that we stated pelupusan earlier. Then first step, we need to debit pelupusan by 100,000. Second step, credit by 50,000. Third step, credit another 25,000. That's all the things that we can record, right? And then inbound as usual. And whenever you inbound, always taking the higher value. And debit is having higher total. So I total the debit side lah. Then copy and paste to the another side. But in the another side, the credit side, we will have a difference 25,000. And how we call this 25,000? Untung or rugi? This 25,000 is untung or rugi? Rugi, because remember the 100,000 is the cost. It's the money that you bayar to get the item. But you spent 100,000 previously. When you sell it out, totally value is lower than the initial money that you spent, right? Means you sell it at a lower price. So of course it is rugi pelupusan. Remember this cost, then it will help you to identify whether it is untung or rugi. But if another scenario, I debited 100,000, I credited 70,000, and again my S&T, let's say 35,000. That's all right. Then inbound again by using the higher minus the lower, and this time credit is higher, 105,000. Debit must have 105,000. And this difference of 5,000, untung or rugi? It will be? Should be untung this time, right? Because remember, same theory, same concept, same thinking. 100,000 is the money of the cost that you spent previously. But this time when you sell it out, the value totally is higher than the initial cost. Means you sell it at the higher price, it will be untung pelupusan. That's how we figure out untung or rugi pelupusan. Then now back to the step. If in case I got untung pelupusan, untung means you earn profit. If you earn profit, sounds more to hasil or belanja. When you earn profit, sounds more to hasil. And hasil we need to record into credit side. Then pelupusan have to record into debit lah. Because must be one in debit, one in credit to make sure everything is inbound. But if we got rugi pelupusan, you make losses. sounds more like hasil or belanja. If rugi berlebihan sounds more to belanja, and belanja should record into debit. Then berlebihan has to turn out become credit side lah. Okay, so that's the recap for pelarasan. You can take picture later. Then let us go to page number 11. Page number 11. Okay, page number 11, part A. We need to calculate jualan credit and belian credit. Okay, jualan credit, belian credit. Jualan credit means ABT. Belian credit means ABB. So what we want to look for now is ABB and ABT. And you also need to prepare account kawalan belum terima and belum bayar lah. Okay, let us find out. Highlight all the ABB, ABT item. Okay, Baki on the first day. First Jan should be Baki, BB. Baki on the last day should be Baki, HB. Then let us highlight the ABB, ABT item. We got ABT here together with ABB. And the classification of ABT is AS. AS Baki BB should record into debit. Baki HB will be in credit. The ABB classification LS. So the Baki BB credit, Baki HB debit. Okay, then find more ABB, ABT item. Okay, let's go to the next part of the question. Penerimaan pembayaran here. We also can find ABT in the debit, ABB in the credit. And when it is account bank is AS mah. So when your bank getting more, AS getting more, means we are receiving money in debit side with account bank. So after you receive money from ABT, your ABT is getting less because we asked about how much you haven't received, how much belum terima yet. After terima, the balance belum terima sure getting less mah. And when ABT, AS getting less, credit side. Right into account kawalan, bukti bank because you get the value from bank. Same for ABB. If you pay money for ABB, your ABB is getting less also. Then your ABB getting less should record into debit side. You for the video replay, right? You don't need to request. You can straight away search in the YouTube. You just search TTC Seminar 2026. Then you will get the replay video for all the subjects. Okay, okay. Then let us continue. Done look for ABB, ABT in the account bank already. Then let us continue for maklumat tambahan to see any ABB, ABT item. Okay, the first one, pulangan jalan. Just now we have mentioned in kaedah perbandingan. Whenever see pulangan, pulangan is supposed to secara tunai or secara kredit. Pulangan is supposed to secara pulangan is supposed to secara tunai or kredit. Secara kredit. So it's either ABB or ABT, right? So first, pulangan jalan, yes, but this one is keep for your APO later, 260. And pulangan jalan is linked to ABB or ABT. It's jalan, to sell, that you're supposed to receive money. So pulangan jalan pair with ABB or ABT. Pulangan jalan pair with AB, AB, B or T. Hello? Pulangan jalan should pair with AB, T. And after return the item from the customer, your ABT, the amount that you're going to receive back is getting less. So it will be debit by, so credit because ABT minus debit, credit by 260. And also pulangan belian for APO as well. Then pulangan belian should pair with AB, B because you beli supposed to bayar mah. And after return, you pay lesser when ABB minus debit side, 130. So we got two more items to put into account kawalan belum terima and belum bayar. Then number 2, discount. Okay, discount The function for discount is to encourage early payment. Encourage early payment, that means have you paid? Have you paid money? Have you received money? If encourage early payment, that means have you paid money? Have you received money? Yes or no? Not yet. So it is still the trial credit, right? And if it is discount diterima, when we are receiving discount, means we are customer, right? And customer is supposed to pay money. So discount diterima also only pair with A, B. And after you receive discount, you need to pay lesser. So ABB getting less. Debit side 370. One more for account kawalan belum bayar. Then the next one, hutang lapuk. This one we discussed about hutang lapuk earlier already, right? I think twice already. First time in kaedah perbandingan. The second time when we recap the pelarasan. So hutang lapuk, first thing. Hutang lapuk itself is belanja because the customer is gone. You cannot collaborate your money at all. So it is belanja for Apo later, 500. And hutang lapuk is affecting ABT because so ABT is gone. You cannot collaborate your money. So ABT minus by 500 also, which is in credit side account kawalan belum terima later. Then the next one, susut nilai 10% a year on cost. This one nothing to do with ABB, ABT, right? Because what we are looking for now is only ABB and ABT. Faedah atas pinjaman, also nothing to do with ABB, ABT. Leave it for later. Okay, then the last sentence. Pemilik telah mengambil barang niaga 550 and we haven't recorded the whole thing. What's the account you find here? The boss take up barang niaga. What's the account you can see? Boss take up barang niaga. Account? Account what? Boss take up barang niaga. Boss mengambil barang niaga. Yes, belian, because we see barang niaga mah change to belian. And if you take out your inventory is getting less. So minus belian by 550. One more account. Boss take up barang niaga. One more account. Although they never mentioned for personal use specifically, but they didn't mention any other purpose also, right? So no choice. We can only understand it as ambilan lah. Okay, ambilan, which is to minus EP for your PKK later by 550 also. Okay, that means later when you calculate boolean, don't forget you need to minus another 550, yeah? Okay, then teacher already prepared the account kawalan already. It's just that haven't inbound to save our time. So what you need to do to account for your account kawalan, just record whatever that we highlighted earlier according to debit and credit into your account kawalan. Okay, then you need to inbound the account lah. Once you inbound account kawalan belum terima, you will find out your jualan credit. But just write jualan here. Don't write the credit term because we don't have any account called as jualan credit. Okay, then you got jualan credit for your question part A, which is 8,200. Same for account kawalan belum bayar. Imbang as usual also, but the imbang bukti will be berlian, but don't write berlian credit as well. Keep it as berlian. Then you will get berlian credit, 7,200. But what we want is not only stop at berlian and jualan credit. What we want for the very first step for kaedah analysis should be finding for jumlah berlian, jumlah jualan, that including secara tunai also, right? So let us find out secara tunai value in the question. It should be in account bank. Means secara tunai is paying money, receive money mah. Can only be shown in account bank or buku tunai lah. And we saw jualan tunai here from debit side. And then berlian tunai from credit side. Then let us record into the formula lah. Jualan tunai 18,300. Berlian tunai 4,300. Then combine with your Jawlan and Berlian credit that we got earlier. Jawlan credit 8,200. Berlian credit 7,200. And also one more. Just now we mentioned we need to minus the another 550 for Berlian, right? So minus Berlian by another 550. Then remember to cancel the working of Berlian in the question. Okay, then that's all right. Then we can calculate lah to see how much is a jumlah Berlian and jumlah Jawlan. It is 26,500 for jumlah Jawlan. Okay, for Berlian, it will be 10,950. Okay. After then, the first step of a kaidah analysis, get the jumlah Berlian and jumlah Jawlan, then continue with the bank value. One of the trap in kaidah analysis. Because if you check in the list of the Baki BB, Baki HB, you can't see any bank here, right? But without bank, how can we run any business? So make sure add on one more account bank here. Get your Baki BB, Baki HB. And we saw the account bank in the second part of the question here, right? And we got the Baki BB here. So copy and paste the Baki BB in the list. Then you need to find out your Baki HB. Just inbound as usual lah. And some more, the question already total up, total debit, total credit for you. So inbound as usual by taking the higher minus the lower. It will be 10,660. So second step for account bank also done. For this question, we can't see any tunai. Then just forget about tunai lah. Maybe there's really no tunai for this question because you can't see any figure for tunai. Then next, modal awal by taking asset minus liability Baki BB, right? But if you check in the question properly, they're actually giving us the modal awal here. So make a remark, this is our modal awal for our answer later for your PKK. So don't need to struggle how to find out your modal awal lah. Okay, then continue with pelarasan to do APO and PKK. So for pelarasan, let us go through the whole question one more time, like how we did previously. Okay. The first one, kendaraan, ABS. Perabot, ABS. Inventory on the first day, inventory awal for APO. On the last day should be inventory akhir for APO and PKK. And the classification of inventory akhir will be AS. ABT, AS. ABB, LS. Kadar bayaran belum bayar. Whenever see belum bayar. Whenever see prabayar. Belum terima. Belum terperoleh. That means you need to do pelarasan later. Okay, then kadar bayaran belum bayar, LS. Insurance prabayar, AS. So you will see here, teacher underline the belum bayar prabayar term because you need to take note, you need to come back here to find out your pelarasan later. Pinjaman, LBS. Unless they mention that is matang date, unless there is a way for you to find out how much you need to pay per year, every year. But for this question, we can't see, right? And some more, Baki BB, Baki HB pinjaman exactly the same, which is no way for us to find out. It will be straight away LBS. Modal, EP. Bank, AS. Then go to account bank. We don't need the Baki BB at already. And also Jalan Tunai because we have calculated the jumlah Jalan by using your Jalan Tunai, Jalan Credit, right? So don't need the Jalan Tunai and Berlian Tunai anymore. ABT value, ABB value, not this because ABB, ABT, ASLS. What we want is Baki HB for PKK sahaja. The amount that you receive money from ABT, the amount that you pay for ABB, you don't need anymore. Commission? Yes, because it will be hasil for your APO later. Perabot ABS. But why ABS is showing here? Are we going to record? No. But you need to change it become susut nilai perabot. Because if it is showing out in account bank for your ABS, it's either you buy your ABS or maybe you sell your ABS, which is Berlian Jalan ABS that trigger us to calculate for susut nilai using penilaian semula. And some more, we can't see any percentage, any information to calculate susut nilai for perabot, right? And also, we can see perabot having changes on Baki BB, Baki HB. So that is the hint that we need to calculate susut nilai by using penilaian semula. Okay. How to find out the using penilaian semula function to calculate? Okay, calculate SN first, which is belanja. How to find out add or minus the value? Klasifikasi lah, sistem caratan bergu lah. So find your perabot. Perabot is ABS. So the Baki BB, debit side. Baki HB, credit side. And then when you have perabot showing in account bank credit side means we are paying money. And when you pay money, it's supposed to be you buy perabot. That's why you need to pay money, right? If you buy perabot, perabot is getting more. So perabot getting more, ABS getting more, put into debit side. Then now that's all the value for perabot. Combine all together to see debit or credit, which one is higher. Debit is higher. Totally 7,000 ma. Credit only got 6,400. So take total up the debit minus the credit. In short, take the higher minus the lower. So need to take 6,000 plus 1,000 minus 6,400. You will get 600 susut nilai. Okay, after get your susut nilai, calculate for SNT. SNT should be klasifikasi minus ABS. And there's no SNT given in the question, right? So 0, add with this year SN, 600. So this year SNT also 600. That means, do you still need to record this 1,000 perabot into your PKK anymore? No more. Just write the final answer will do. Okay, then bulan tunai no need, ABB no need, gaji belanja. Any pelarasan? No. Pelarasan means whenever you see lebih bayar, kurang bayar, belum terima, belum bayar, pra bayar, belum terperoleh, ha? But for gaji, no, right? Okay, then insurance. Also belanja, and we saw pelarasan here. Okay, insurance pra bayar, AS. AS Baki BB, debit. Baki HB, credit. Insurance belanja, supposed to be in debit. So you got two values in debit, 660, which is higher than credit side lah. So take the higher debit minus the credit. You will get 480 only. Kadar bayara also the same. It is also belanja and we need to do pelarasan. But this time is belum bayar. Klasifikasi LS. LS Baki BB, credit. Baki HB, debit. Kadar bayaran belanja, debit. And there's only one in debit, one in credit. Okay. Obviously, debit is higher, right? So take the debit minus the credit. It will be 660. Okay, then sewa also belanja, but we can't see any pelarasan. Faedah atas pinjaman, yes, also belanja, also no pelarasan yet. Okay, then the last part, maklumat tambahan here. Don't forget, later when you prepare APO, you got pulangan, jualan, pulangan, belian. Okay, then discount diterima. Discount diterima whenever diterima. Klasifikasi, hasil. So don't forget, there's more hasil in APO later. Don't forget that. But for all those highlighted ABB, IBT item, you have report into your account kawalan to get your jumlah belan, jumlah jualan already. So those highlighted item, you don't need it anymore, ha? Then hutang lapuk, yes, we got belanja one more here. Then kenderaan susut nilai 10% a year. Calculate lah. Get your SN first. Belanja. 10% a year. So take 10% times the cost. And kenderaan value, Baki BB, Baki HB, exactly the same, right? No changes, right? So it is safe for us to take the 20,000 lah, no issue. And some more, there's no Baki at all because we can't see any new purchase for kenderaan with date. So times 20,000, it will get 2,000 SN for belanja. Then SNT to minus ABS. No SNT given, so it will be 0. Add with this year SN. You will get SNT same as 2,000 as well. Okay, then Faedah atas pinjaman 8% a year. Okay, I put it here. Faedah atas pinjaman, klasifikasi belanja. Because once we borrow money, we should pay faedah. It will be belanja for company. The dimension 8% a year. Pinjaman, there's no changes at all, right? So just take the 10,000 lah. But if there is difference between Baki BB, Baki HB, don't take the Baki HB. Because we only need to pay faedah provided we haven't paid the pinjaman, right? And if you find that your pinjaman year-end Baki HP is getting lower, that means we have paid the pinjaman already. How come we need to pay faedah after we have paid pinjaman? No way, right? So remember, faedah atas pinjaman can only take the pinjaman Baki BB to calculate for the faedah. So take Baki BB always, so it will be 8% times 10,000. But I make a remark here, always take the Baki BB for pinjaman. Don't take the Baki HB. It will be 800. And then just now we mentioned, we saw that in the account bank, we saw faedah atas pinjaman, right? We only paid 350, but we by right should pay 800. So change it to the actual value, 800. Then you can cancel the working faedah atas pinjaman here. But that means we paid lesser. We paid too less. So we got faedah atas pinjaman belum bayar, which is LS by 450. Then the last sentence, you still got ambilan here for your PKK. Okay, so that's it for this question discussion for your APO and PKK pelarasan. Okay, if there's no question, still the same, take picture for the notes and the workings, then you will need to practice it as a homework, Otherwise, you can't remember. Otherwise, you cannot practice it, cannot use it, cannot remember how to work on it in your exam. Okay. Done taking picture? Then I will scroll to the next part of the notes, Okay, then the answer. And APO. Last part, PKK. Okay, any question for record tak lengkap? No, No question, Okay, and actually, I have prepared the workings for one more question of Kaedah analysis, which is harder version. So you can take picture of the workings, you practice by your own first, and then check your answer if there's any issue. Okay, so take picture again for the another question of Kaedah analysis workings. Okay, then second part, second page, which is a lot of pelarasan, one page of pelarasan. Okay, done. Once done, let us cover one more topic for PPB. Okay, recap for PPB first, then we practice by using the question. Okay, for PPB, it's all about compare your buku tunai and penyata bank. But actually, buku tunai is prepared by accountant for account bank and tunai. But penyata bank is prepared by bank. Of course, it will only concern about the money in bank only. So if you ignore the buku tunai, buku tunai should look the same as your penyata bank, right? Because both also preparing account bank together. But in practical, in reality, there might be some delay on record or maybe some mistake on the record causing some difference. But we need to rectify it lah. We need to do some correction lah to make sure both showing the same value. But before you do the correction, before you do the comparison, make clear one thing first, which is the debit and credit, whether add or minus. Okay. If it is buku tunai is what we learn since Form 4, right? When we start to learn account, right? So buku tunai is prepared by accountant. That's why they will use sistem catatan pergu. And buku tunai klasifikasi is AS. So when add money, when your money increase, when the value is increased for your buku tunai, it should be showing in debit side. Means buku tunai debit means add, credit means minus. But if penyata bank, that won't apply system catatan pergu because it is not possible for the bank to hire accountant purposely to prepare the bank statement for you. They will just generate and print it out from the system will do. So there will no system catatan pergu, so that will make everything in opposite way. That means if it is buku tunai debit add, but penyata bank debit is to minus. If buku tunai credit to minus, penyata bank credit might be add. Make clear this first before you want to do this kind of question. If in the question you get confused which one to add, which one to minus, then you better try another question already. Because if you get this concept wrong, then the whole thing is totally wrong. Okay, then the second part, we have totally three types of PBB question. Okay, first type and second type, both also same starting by buku tunai. And penyata bank, the one starting by penyata bank will be only type 3 question. But no matter how, the logic of correction is to make the wrong become the right one. So if you want to start by buku tunai, that means buku tunai is wrong, penyata bank is right. If you start by penyata bank, that means penyata bank is wrong, buku tunai is the right one. Okay, there was a difference between first and second type of question. Only the answer difference here. If it is the first type of question, you need to update your buku tunai to prepare buku tunai kemas kini. And this topic is all about buku tunai kemas kini. And this topic is all about PBB, right? So everything here, you also need to prepare PBB. But only first type of question, you need to prepare 2 reports. But second and third type, what you need to do is only PPB sahaja. That's the only difference lah. And also, whenever you see kemas kini buku tunai, they need us to update buku tunai, you will update because it is wrong, right? So whenever you see kemas kini buku tunai, that means buku tunai is the wrong one. You need to start by buku tunai lah. Okay, then the last part, before we go through the answer, before we go through the questions, we got totally 5 factors, 5 reasons to make your buku tunai penyata bank different. The first one, kesilapan. And this kesilapan, I will put a star here because kesilapan is the only thing that it will be shown in penyata bank and also buku tunai. It will be something like this. Buku tunai may be recorded 50, but we recorded 500 in penyata bank. Then we need to do correction. How to do correction? By using the mathematic thinking lah. If you need to start by buku tunai, means you need to make buku tunai become penyata bank value, which is 50 become 500. From a smaller value become a bigger value, you need to add 450. But if the question need us to start by penyata bank become buku tunai, that means need to make 500, the bigger value become a smaller value 50. That means you need to minus. So the correction wise very easy. From big become a small one, you need to minus. From small become a big one, you need to add. Okay. That's how we do the correction. Now let us recognize the rest of the factor also. Okay, no matter what kind of factor, the correction wise, how to add, how to minus, still apply the same way that we explained just now. Okay, then number 2, ketinggalan. Ketinggalan means miss out. Ketinggalan can only be shown in penyata bank. It won't be shown in buku tunai. Because ketinggalan is something like the bank has received extra income. or the bank has been paid for something else, but accountant haven't get the letter yet. The bank will need some time to inform us. So buku tunai accountant haven't get notified yet. It will be haven't recorded in buku tunai yet lah. But it will be captured in the Penyata bank already because bank transaction very easy to get it online recorded, right? But buku tunai not yet. So this value only be shown in Penyata bank, either add or minus also can. If we have been charged money by using Penyata bank already, it will be shown in Penyata bank minus lah. Let's say 500. If we receive the money in Penyata bank, it will be add in Penyata bank 500, but haven't been shown in buku tunai because we haven't get the letter to record into your buku tunai yet. Then check telayan. Check telayan is the one terbalik because check telayan means accountant received the check already. It will be only adding in buku tunai because accountant should be the one receive the check and pass the check to the bank. Bank only find out that it is check telayan. You cannot process the check, so the bank won't capture any transaction because the check cannot be used. Tak boleh guna. Okay, then CBD, DBD, these two only be showing in buku tunai. Let's say 500. But CBD means you credited your buku tunai. That means you put it into buku tunai negative already. But because of timing issue, the bank only process the check in the next month because it's too late already, lambat already. So it won't be shown in Penyata Bank for this one. Then for DBD, D here is standing for buku tunai debit, which is that you added your buku tunai but haven't recorded into Penyata Bank because of delay again. So how to recognize CBD, DBD? Actually using the C and D here. C stand for credit because in English, credit spelling starting by C. Then DBD, D stand for debit, so it will be buku tunai debit side lah. Okay, so that's the recap of the theory part of the background for your PBB. Now, let us apply all these steps for all kind of question now. No matter type 1, type 2, type 3. No matter sentence question or table question. Always use the same steps. So let us apply the steps into the question to see how it works. Let's go to page number 32. Okay, first step, you need to find out type 1, type 2, type 3 question. How? Refer to your question requirement. Okay, for this question, they need to start by dari baki Penyata Bank. Means you need to start your correction from Penyata Bank. From means starting from, right? If you start by Penyata Bank, that means your Penyata Bank is wrong. Buku tunai is the one correct. If buku tunai is correct already, how come you need to prepare buku tunai kemas kini? No need lah. So we find out it is a third type of question. Then you need to figure out what is the value of your starting point. What's the value for your final answer? And this step, remember, always take the latest value, the last value, and somewhat it is latest Baki BB. Latest Baki BB means next month Baki BB. Especially for your buku tunai. Because you can only get your Penyata Bank on last day of the month, and you can only complete your buku tunai on last day of the month, right? So all the correction here, all the comparison here can only work on the last day of the month, which will be the last day, the latest Baki BB lah. So don't take other value, take your latest Baki BB. Become Penyata Bank one. But for this question, should be Penyata Bank become buku tunai. So get the Penyata Bank last Baki into our workings here. We have to make sure starting we're working by 3,391. And it is positive in Penyata Bank. So it is Baki credit in Penyata Bank. And make it become the buku tunai value. Debit side, it is showing in debit buku tunai 3,700. That means it is positive in buku tunai. So later, when you have done the full answer already, you need to make sure, come back here to check. Make sure you get back the exactly same answer as this one. Make sure getting final answer. Baki debit di buku tunai, getting final answer 3,700. Okay? But don't straight away start to compare your buku tunai pengantar bank whether all the transaction exactly the same first. You need to do one more checking step. This step number 3, to make sure your buku tunai and pengantar bank first day baki BB should be the same. Because you need to make sure what you're comparing in this month is whatever happened in this month only. You can't compare for last month transaction because last month transaction should be corrected in the last month. This month correction can only do in this month. Then how to check? Check your buku tunai pengantar bank first day baki whether the same or not. Okay, then you check here. First day baki BB whether the same. Obviously not the same lah. And we have a difference by 50 here in pengantar bank. And you can only find a difference, only can find last month check in pengantar bank. Because just now we mentioned, last month check should be fixed in the last month. And accountant is the one to do the correction. Accountant can only do the correction on buku tunai. How come we do the correction on pengantar bank? Because pengantar bank is not prepared by accountant right? So, the issue, the mistake can only be showing in pengantar bank sahaja. Okay, then let's find. Do we have any 50 ringgit? Ngam 50, exactly 50 in pengantar bank here? No, right? That means it made up of more than one check. So how to find out the last month check? Go to your buku tunai credit side. You have a list of number check here. The very first check in this month is 213. So any number check before this value, before this number range should be last month check lah. So let's check in the pengantar bank. Do we see any check number before this? Yes, we got this. And this is 450. It should be last month check that has been fixed in the last month. So don't need to do anything in this month. But we need 50. But we found 450. That means you need another check to knock it off. And the tips is, whenever you find the first last month check already, the another check normally should be before this check. Then let's check one by one lah. If you combine 99 with 450, no matter you add or minus, you still cannot get your 50, right? Okay, then how about 500? Yes. How? Because pengantar bank debit means negative. Pengantar bank credit means positive. If you get positive 500 with negative 50, you minus them, isn't it? You get back 50, right? Okay, so this might be the one. Another one, 640. No matter how you combine add or minus, you also can't get 50, right? So we can confirm the 50 is the another check combined together, getting the difference 50 ringgit, that it makes up the difference, and we don't need to fix it anymore because we have done the correction in the last month. So that's how we work on step number 3 to find step number 3 to make sure buku tunai pengantar bank first day baki should be the same because this step is to remove last month check that we have done the correction in the last month. So after this, then you can officially start to compare your buku tunai pengantar bank whether showing the same value or not lah. But bear in mind, when you check buku tunai debit, you should check pengantar bank credit because buku tunai debit to add, pengantar bank credit is to add. Always the balik one Then if you check buku tunai credit, which is to minus, then you need to check your pengantar bank debit. Okay, then when you want to check the value, check by the value only. Don't need to check by the bukti because that's not so complicated in our syllabus. Okay, so let us check the value one by one, whether showing the same in pengantar bank buku tunai or not Okay, in buku tunai, we saw 550 is showing the same in pengantar bank. 1550, yes, we saw it also. 646, yes. 332, yes. Wait, 332, yes. 641, yes. 1788, yes. 418, no. 1790, no. So circle out. We need to do correction for these two values. Do the same for credit side. 99, yes. 500, yes. 458, yes. 1022, no. But we saw something similar, right? Okay, when you see something similar, but it's still different in buku tunai penyata bank, what is the factor? What is the factor whenever you see similar value showing in buku tunai and penyata bank? What's the factor most probably? The value showing the value showing in buku tunai and penyata bank, but slightly different, but it still looks similar. What is the factor? Hello, what's the factor? When you see similar but still different value showing in buku tunai and also penyata bank, yes, it's kesilapan. So let us remark whether it is kesilapan first, then later to confirm lah. Okay. But although we got two value for kesilapan, but how many kinds of correction that we need? How many times of correction? Once or twice? We saw two value of kesilapan, but both also referring to the same error, right? Yeah, only fixed once, and you can confirm whether it is kesilapan by using the check number also. Because if you see here, both also referring to the same check, right? And how can one check showing two values? Must be kesilapan already lah. Okay, then continue. The next one. 331, yes, we saw. 115, yes. 390, no. 1725, no. 375, yes. 3,700, no, because it is Parquet HP mah. Parquet HP is not transaction, so cannot compare. Okay, then the rest in Penyata Bank. The rest that you cannot find the value, you also need to circle out. You need to do correction as well. But before we proceed, check one more thing, special thing for this question, one of the trap again, okay. We saw 641 in credit Penyata Bank, right? We also saw the same value in debit Penyata Bank also. Means one positive, one negative in the same value. If you got debit and credit the same value, isn't it the final value becomes zero? Yes or no? Debit, credit the same value at the same time. Isn't it knocked off already? Do we have any balance left? Positive 641. Negative 641. Is it knocked off? Do you have any balance left? No, no more. No, right? That means have we really recorded this check? Have we really recorded this transaction? If a debit and credit the same value for this check at the same time, did we actually recorded this check in Penyata Bank? No. Yes, ma'am? Okay, seems yes. But if you combine them together, become kosong already, right? If become kosong already, is it really existing in this check? In this Penyata Bank? Okay, maybe I explain the scenario like this. I explain what is happening here. Maybe the bank accepted the check, so recorded into Penyata Bank credit side to add the money. But few days later, they find out the check tak layan. The check cannot be processed, so they want to reverse the item. So if you combine them together, did we actually this transaction into Penyata Bank? Did we really record this transaction in Penyata Bank? No, there's no impact at all. That knock off the transaction already. So they reverse everything already. So these two is the one that knock it off. So can I say that this check is not recorded in Penyata Bank because knock off already, no impact at all already. So if you're referring to the question, if you're referring to the buku tunai 641, is this 641 recorded the impact in your Penyata Bank? You got three 641 here in buku tunai and Penyata Bank, but end up Penyata Bank knock off already. So both already hilang. That means have we actually have this transaction 641 in buku tunai, but is it showing in Penyata Bank? Yes or no? I repeat my question. In Penyata Bank, you got positive 641, negative 641, referring to the same check. So totally jadi kosong already, right? But you still can see 641 in buku tunai here. That means buku tunai is recording 641. But do we have actually 641 in your Penyata Bank? Yes or no? No more. That means your buku tunai and Penyata Bank is different already, right? That means in this buku tunai 641, we need to circle it back to do the correction. Okay, I simplify the whole thing. That means we actually received the check in buku tunai and we pass the check to the bank. Bank transfer the money into our bank already. But after a few days, they only realized check tak layan. So they reversed the everything. So we actually didn't receive any single cent in Penyata Bank. So we knock it off, jadi kosong already. But what we need to do is make sure buku tunai and Penyata Bank the same. But buku tunai already written 641 there. And ended up Penyata Bank jadi kosong already. So we still need to do the correction lah. Okay? So we still got one more check tak layan lah. Okay, so make a remark. This 641 is check tak layan first. Okay, so there's a two tricky part for this question. The first, it will be make sure the first day baki the same by using two check. Secondly, the check tak layan showing twice in Penyata Bank but end up become kosong already, which is still actually nothing recorded, nothing shown in Penyata Bank lah. Jadi kosong already mah. Okay. Then finally, we can find out the factor. Okay, we have the step for the factor. That's the tips, that's the tricks, how we find out the factor one by one, easily. Okay, first, you need to find out check tak layan and kesilapan first. Because the question will straight away tell us which one is check tak layan, which one is kesilapan. But if not shown in the question, didn't told by the question, that means there's no one. Then find the sentence in the question. Then mention maklumat tambahan here. Check 216 should be actually 1,220. We got this as kesilapan earlier already, right? So we confirm already lah. Okay, then for the check that we have bayar oleh courtesy on March 13, this is the one. Then mention check tak laku because dipulangkan oleh bank mah. And we are confirmed it is check tak laku already, right? Yalah. Okay, so done for check tak laku and also kesilapan. Then continue by CBD and DBD. And again, CBD, DBD can only shown in buku tunai or Penyata Bank. CBD, DBD can only shown in buku tunai or Penyata Bank. CBD, DBD only shown in buku tunai sahaja. So if you go back to your buku tunai, as long as debit in buku tunai, not in Penyata Bank, it will be DBD because D stand for debit mah. If it is showing in buku tunai credit side, not in Penyata Bank, it will be CBD. Easy lah. Then the last one, everything the rest in Penyata Bank but not in buku tunai, it will be ketinggalan. So we got ketinggalan. I write K here to save the time. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4. Totally 4 ketinggalan. Okay, after finding out the factor, then you need to work on the table. And I have write out the table already. but you need to work on the table by your own. Let us explain those important part for this table. Okay. First column, bukti. Bukti just copy and paste from the question. Faktor ketinggalan lah, cek tak layan lah, CBD lah, DBD lah, kesilapan that we mentioned just now. Then the most important part will be the last column here, which is make sure you get clear this question is pengataban become buku tunai. So make sure record the value whether it is showing in buku tunai or pengataban, whether positive or negative. Make clear first. Okay, let's say the first one, kedai C, this value showing in buku tunai, not in pengataban. Because check tak layan means the check rejected by the bank already. Bank don't want to process the check. So it is not showing in pengataban. And when it is showing in buku tunai debit means it's buku tunai debit side positive 641. Make sure get the value correctly into the column, into the right column. That means you need to make 0 become positive 641. That means you need to add back. The rest still the same. But for the kesilapan, something special because it is tricky part. For kesilapan, this value 1022 showing in buku tunai negative. And the same value, the same transaction showing in 1220 negative in pengataban. So when you record into the answer, into the table, be careful. In pengataban, it's actually negative 1220 here. In buku tunai, it's negative 1022. And what you think is, you need to make that negative 1220 become negative 1022, which is making a smaller value become a bigger value. Small become big, you need to add or minus. When you want to make a small value become a bigger value, you need to add or minus. Add or minus. Small become a big one. Add or minus. Blue. Small value become a bigger value. You need to add lah. Mathematic issue only mah. Yang kecil jadi besar, kena tambah lah. Yang besar jadi kecil, you need to tolak lah. So need to add back 198. The rest work on the same way, but make sure record the value in correct column, If you get it wrong, then your final answer is wrong. Okay, after get this, then you need to copy and paste the table into your answer. And you should start your working by step 2 here. Baki credit di pengataban, positive 3391. Okay, so baki credit di pengataban 3391 here. And then based on the last column, to see you need to add or minus. You need to add first. You need to add totally 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 items here. And remember, CBD, DBD should be the one, but always must be in PPB. So you need to record PPB for your CBD, DBD first. Don't start with the rest first. The rest only tumpang tempat sahaja. Which is after CBD, DBD, then you only record the rest of kesilapan, ketinggalan, kesilapan. Everything here just copy from the table. Add or minus, bukti just get from the column of bukti. Okay, then after you finish your calculation, you should get back the same answer, same as your step 2 here. Okay, and if we start by pengataban, you should end the answer by buku tunai. And you got the answer in positive. Positive in buku tunai should be baki. Debit di buku tunai, which should be the same as step 2 here lah. Okay, so that's all the discussion for PPB question. So if anyone want to take picture, You can take picture of the working and the answer now. After taking picture, better for you to start the exercise very soon because advantage that you still can remember the concept, the theory, that it will be easier for you to understand it when you work on that question on the spot. And if you have any question when you do any revision, you still can WhatsApp me or ask me in the class. Okay, done with the table. Then last part, the answer. Okay, then if you have done taking the picture, I think that's all for today for seminar. Then next week in the class, we will do the revision for Form 5 Chapter 1, Nisbah, together with Form 4 Chapter 9, Pembetulan Kesilapan. And if you have any question that you wish to cover, you can bring it to the class. Let's see we can what we to do to help for your midterm exam. Okay? And if you need any replay, you can search in the YouTube, find Seminar TTC 2026. You will get the rest of the subject replay there also. Okay? Then if there's no question, then that's all for today. See you in the class. Thank you. Bye bye.